What's up everyone, Biz Matthew here once again with another video, and in today's video we're going to talk about how to run comps on your wholesale deals. Before we go on, be sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on post notification bell, and comment down below. Make sure you guys smash that like button as this channel grows together. It makes this channel more discoverable for you all and for other people. Now, we're going to talk about how to run numbers. As I stated before, I'm not a professional, a guru in this. I'm just putting my information out here for you all to learn, and just accountability for myself as I grow my business. I'm still learning this process, but I have learned a few things by talking to hundreds of sellers and meeting with people. Now, I'm also going to update you guys on my journey and different deals I'm doing. But how to run comps on property. So a good beginner way to look at running comps on properties is by using these listing services online like Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, Realtor. These websites to look up the value of property online. Now, these values are not always the best, as you all know. They may be too high or too low. And depending on market, you just don't know, what to value them at. So usually what I do is I use Zillow. So for example, if it's your standard house in that area, let's say it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath ranch style home in like Cleveland, Ohio, right? Let's say it's been appraised, or its value on Zillow is 120, and that's fixed up and ready to go. What I like to do is, if the property needs a rehab, if it needs work, I just get that number, do 50% of Zillow, and yeah, that's basically it, right? And then I give in my fee, or you can do 50% and then subtract your assignment fee. So for example, if the house is 120 grand, that's the value of the house fixed up and ready to go. You do 50% of that, which is $60,000. You can either offer that to the seller and be like, hey, I can give you 60 grand, and then you can put your assignment fee. So if your assignment fee is 5,000 or 10,000, you can offer it for 70 grand to different buyers and different people. If it needs like a decent rehab for like 20, 25 grand. If not, you can still use that 50% formula and subtract your fee after that. So instead of offering the seller 60,000, you can offer them 50,000, so you can market it for 60,000, which is a really good way. I just learned that, if it's a nice cookie cutter house, it needs a rehab, updating, but it doesn't have extensive repairs. Like, you don't need to like replace the central air and heating. There's no foundation issues or structural issues. It just needs an update, new carpet, new paint, new appliances, new bathroom, finishes and things like that. I found that, that gives a good price for the seller and a good price for you and a good price to market to your buyers, right? So that's one formula to use. Another formula obviously is to look at the Zillow prices, look at what it's been appraised for on the county's website. So for example, in my county, we can access appraisal values directly online. It's usually significantly lower than the value of the house fixed up. And so it's just a good number to have, to use and to bring into negotiation and stuff like that. Yeah, and then another thing when appraising for houses, let's say you find a house and the seller's ready to sell and the property is actually in decent condition. All it needs is new paint and some cleaning, right? Then okay, I can price this for a little bit higher. So you're not going to offer the seller a lot of times 50%. You can still do that. You can probably make a huge assignment fee. But if the seller is knowledgeable and they know what they're doing, you may have to go 70% of Zillow or 70, and market it up 5 or 10 grand to your buyers if it's like ready to go, right? And of course, the third method is the standard formula that you guys probably heard before. So you get the ARV, the after repair value it being fixed up, for example, let's say it's 100 grand, you get 70% of that, because that's what buyers want to buy their properties for. Flippers, 70%. So that's 70,000. And then you do that minus repair fees. So let's say the repairs fees are 20,000 for that $100,000 house. That's 50,000. Then you minus your assignment fee, which is, let's say you want to make 10 grand. So your price is 40 grand, if that makes sense. So we go for 100 grand, 70% of that is 70,000 minus repairs, which is 50,000. Let's say the repairs are worth 20,000 that needs to be done to fix it up to sell for 100 grand. So that's 50,000, but you want to make 10 grand or 5 grand. Let's say you want to make 5 grand. So the maximum allowable offer you can allow the seller is 45 grand, right? So that's your standard formula. It usually works most of the time. And the buyer would be interested, you know, if you offer them, hey, I got this for 50 grand. You know, then they can be like, okay, I can put this amount into the building. And yeah, so that's where kind of that 50% comes from, because I noticed that after you do 70% minus the repairs, that value is usually 50% of the ARV, right? And so if you look at Zillow, you just do 50% and then you subtract your assignment fee. You get to that number much faster, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that's how I do comps, and that's one way that you all can do comps. Just updating you all on my journey. I'm still kind of working on this still. That has horrible foundation issues, and I told people about it, but this guy is very interested. I got it under contract right now, let's say 9 grand. He's willing to get it for 13 grand, but you know, it's been really stressful, so I'm okay making 3 grand. I mean, it's technically 3 grand because I gave the seller $1,000. I'm learning in this business, but yeah, and so hopefully that goes well. I have to send them my assignment of contract to let them look it over and whatnot. But yeah, I hope you all enjoy this video and whatnot. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment down below, and like this video. All right, peace.